watching too. Somebody is telling Britain that they should remove leg from our neck, from Nigerian neck, that Nigeria is no longer breathing, that Nigeria is suffocating, is dying, that their weight is far too much on Nigeria. Somebody was just making that appeal. He narrated it in a way that is very deep and touching. Honestly speaking, I say I cannot read this one alone. I would not just hear this one alone because information we got from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu helped each and every one of us to know who our true enemy is, and that is Britain.
Take your knee off our necks. Britain. Nigerians can no longer breathe. Peter Omonuwa tells British government. Nigeria is lying prostrate under your weight. It is choking and can no longer breathe. That's the way Omonuwa describes the situation of Nigerians of today. He said, "We are where you have always been, the enabler of Fulani, even now as they ravage southern and middle belt Nigeria." He said, Nigerians also know that you, Britain, pretend to promote good governance. You actually profit from ineptitude in our governance structure. You seek from his governance, Britain, because a stable and well-managed Nigeria would block the loopholes that benefits your economy. He said, this is where you are pulling strings to ensure the agitation for independent nations of Biafra. And the Duduwa don't materialize if it takes the sacrificing of every human in southern Nigeria to ensure the agitation is silenced. You are ready to support the killings. Your ambassador Katina Lang is crisscrossing the length and breadth of the country, trying to convince political, traditional, and religious leaders that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. It now begs the question if Nigeria is still a colonial entity. An African proverb says, if you present the gift of a goat to a friend, you must also let go the tether. Why is Britain holding on to this tether after independence? Why are you keeping Nigeria on a leash? You see, why are you keeping Nigeria on a leash? Why are you still holding the tether? Yes, Peter is asking. He said, why you will not tolerate to see a strand of hair drop from British citizens? Yes, now, but it is okay for thousands to be killed in southern Kaduna, in Benue, and in Plateau. He said, that is a fair game. He said, that is a fair game as far as you are concerned. He's talking about Britain. He's talking about Britain. Look at what's happening in southern Kaduna. People are being killed. But for British government, they cherish their citizens. They cherish their citizens. But talking about others, they don't care about other people, particularly Nigerians. That's what Peter is saying. And so he went on to say that Katina Lang and other British officials can concoct stories about how these killings, yes, these killings in southern Kaduna are as a result of conflict between farmers and herders. Not only in southern Kaduna, even in the middle belt, in the southwest, in the southeast. He said, even when there are incontrovertible evidences that this is all about land dispossession from the native owners, as long as the killing is of black people, it is acceptable to the British government. It did not today. If your Prime Minister Harold Wilson is making reference now, during the Biafra genocide, was recorded to have said, I quote, I would have accepted 500,000 dead Biafrans if that was what it took. Any persons or groups that will obstruct the free flow of Nigerian resources to Britain must be crushed. So he went on, said Britain is pretending not to be aware of the activities of their Fulani cronies that have brought unprecedented misery, starvation, and deprivation to southern Nigeria. It's about time the channel stops. Southern Nigeria wants out of the union of debt, even the middle belt, a region you disingenuously annexed into Northern Protectorate against their wish, want out of the union. They want their own country. They are done being used as the willing tools of the Fulani. They have found their voices. They want to breathe. They want sovereignty. Lift your knee off their neck. They are suffocating under your yoke. So that's Britain. They've been told to do something to extricate themselves from this entanglement. This has been, This particular sentiment has pervaded Nigeria, pervades West Africa and other African countries, and even other parts of the world, that Britain is holding Nigeria because of their benefits. The people in Nigeria want to live. And then it behoves on the Britain to come out clean in 21st century, to come out clean on this. That they are not the ones holding Nigeria. They should come out clean on this. Because this thing has been going on for quite some time now. In fact, since independence, particularly during the Biafran War, it becomes so evident, it becomes so obvious that Britain wants a united Nigeria. Whether people are dying there, whether they are progressing or not, whether they are, whether they are moving forward as a nation, they don't care. All they want is let this country be united. Let it be one Nigeria. Who does that? You want the country to remain indivisible. You want the country to remain one. And they're not making any progress. What's the essence of a country or a nation, whereas there's no prosperity, no progress, there's no security of life and property? What's the essence of living then? We're asking. How much more of having a society or a nation or country, as the case may be? So it is time Britain come out openly on this. Honestly speaking, yes, this man is making a case for disintegration of Nigeria, peaceful disintegration of Nigeria. He said, looking back in retrospect, you may now realize the folly of your amalgamation experiment. He's talking to Britain about the amalgamation. Say, you must now be convinced it was a bad decision, but too embarrassing to admit. The true mark of leadership is owning up to mistakes, making amends and learning from them. It does not necessarily diminish you, may be a bruise on your ego and reputation. Come down from the high horse, own up to the mistake, and let's have a reset. Why struggle to hold on to Nigeria when you should be focused on repositioning your troubled economy? You imagine that without Nigeria, you could not possibly survive, and that your economy could be on tailspin. This is what he's saying. And he said, I recently came across the below artistic impression which depicts the three ethnic groups in a combative posture. As trivial as it may first appear, nothing illustrates the unhealthy rivalry and mutual destruction of the three tribes better than these. While the artist may have intended it as a comic, it aptly captures the true state of affairs that has persisted in the relationship between these three nations since their unnegotiated amalgamation. You see, how do you, Britain, expect any progress to be made under such open distrust and mutual disdain for each other? There has been a zero-sum game, with Nigeria being the ultimate loser. It is the reason an Oduduwa person would not willingly support rejuvenation of a Port Harcourt or Warri seaport, because what Port Harcourt or Warri gains is perceived as a loss to Tinkan or Apapa port. It is why a Hausa man will prefer all the refineries to be moribund than the Warri refinery to work, and Kaduna does not work. It is why an Igbo man thinks he has a higher intellectual prowess than the other two. Any compromises these different tribal nations have made to collaborate, or any compromises these different tribal nations have made to collaborate, is usually a matter of situational convenience and momentary exigency. You see, so this is what he said. And finally, he said, the ethnic coloration of their current presidential candidates, that's in Nigeria, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has led to suggestion that these men be automatically elevated to the position of regional premiers of their respective regions of Southeast, Core North, and Southwest. This proposition is born out of the ethnic sentiment of the supporters of their candidature. Perhaps that would have been a consideration if the South had not had the fortune of unraveling the true intent of the Fulani race in Nigeria. Any arrangement that would give the Fulani unfettered access and egress through the territorial borders of Biafra Oduduwa is off the table. You see, so this is what this man have said. We have to stop here, but I have said it all. Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu are regional premiers. Simple. He said they are regional premiers. It has shown that Nigeria is not one. It has shown that the amalgamation was forced. It was a forced marriage, forced union. It has opened the fault lines, and more so, the coming elections, as the campaign rages on, it will open it wider, the gulf, the differences, it will be so open and obvious. The fault lines, the gulf, the cleavage will be in the open, and it will no longer be hidden, and nobody will sorry.